Hi, my name is Jonathan Rodriguez, and welcome to Just for Fun Games. I'm with my friend Nicholas Murga, and we're here to talk about Cyberpunk because we missed the train and everyone else has already talked about it. But we both
Pretty
felt
much.
that the game was too big to try and rush through and pump out a review for the sake of getting a review out when it fucking mattered. So we took our time, we tried to fucking enjoy the game, and now we have some early impressions because we ain't done with it yet. So, my early impression. It looks like crap. Ah, God. Oh, no, but for real, like, you know that feeling when you look forward to a game for so long that when it finally comes out, you want to see it in the best light, no matter how bad it is? It's like Final Fantasy 15 all over again. It's like, I want to love you! But
Oh boy,
I
I'm
have,
sorry.
yeah, I have a base PlayStation 4 or PS4 Slim. I don't feel like that, like, clarification matters,
It
but
doesn't justify.
no, it doesn't. And when I first booted up the game before they got one of the more recent patches in, the game looked like I was wearing glasses and I took some, like, chicken grease and smeared them over my lenses and tried to play the game that way. It just looked like there was a film of shit on my new TV. Maybe there's something wrong with the settings. Maybe my gamma levels are wrong. Turn off film grain. It looked like 5% better. It's like, okay, I could do this.
I could vouch. I could vouch because after maybe 2 hours of playing the game, I turned off that film grain. I was like, I can't do this with the film grain on.
Oh yeah, no, it seems like even after they patched it, people are turning off the film grain. But ignoring the visuals, ignoring the elephant in the room, the fundamentals of the game I was enjoying. Growing up on BioWare games, I feel like I can kind of infer the presentation of the voice acting when I'm making my choices in a dialogue tree and such. I don't know how V is going to respond in most of this. Or no, I've gotten used to it now, but I didn't initially because I thought, okay, this is like an innocuous statement. This is a calm statement. It's like, motherfucker, what'd you say? Oh, I wasn't trying to be like that, V, but okay,
Yeah,
we're going to have
I know what you're talking about. I'd be like, oh, I didn't. Why you guys say it like that? You know,
it's like,
that wasn't the tone I wanted you to say that sentence in.
but when you get right down to it, that's kind of how CD Projekt Red does their games. When you were playing The Witcher 3, Geralt responded like Geralt would. He would just say the particular thing that you wanted him to say. But his delivery was how Geralt would deliver that line. It wasn't like, all right, am I playing as Paragon V or Renegade V? Nah, it's mostly all Renegade V. But how about you,
Yeah,
Nick?
which
Nick has a PlayStation 5. He's one of them ones that got the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory. As you can see, his fucking
actually,
headset. There's a difference. If you couldn't tell.
I've been taking down some notes,
Okay, all right.
and
Go ahead.
they're mostly bugs, but
Yeah.
so like first 5 minutes of playing the game, I don't know if you went on my Twitter. I jumped on the transformer and got flown into the sky and underneath the map. So I was like, oh, this is going great. This is next gen right here.
I'm gonna be honest. The only real like graphical bugs I ran into were minor. That's actually funny. Like ignoring how janky the visuals looked, like someone put a Minecraft filter on my AAA game. Uh, the only thing I really saw was like Jackie walking through my car, and when I decapitated this chick, she stayed in a crouch position, headless, trying to reload her gun.
Oh,
Okay, I mean,
well,
she had unfinished.
I mean,
She had unfinished business.
like I said, I can talk about all the bugs and stuff that I experienced in the game,
Yeah, but
but
that's
as
low hanging fruit.
far,
Everybody knows about that shit.
yeah, but I say I'm not going to talk about bugs all day because clearly we know they're in there.
Oh yeah.
But overall, I'm enjoying the game.
Okay.
I'll say actually, let's see, let me You're gonna see my face dim a little bit. I gotta pull up your name because PS4 don't have this feature.
The anime?
No, I said the PS4 doesn't have this feature
No, you
on
mentioned
their
your
console,
name.
but
I love that movie.
oh,
Think about
okay, there
it.
you are. I did. I was like, your name. All right, so judging from what PlayStation is telling me, you only played 11 hours of Cyberpunk.
I mean, I did start over. Does
Ooh,
it?
why?
I wanted to respect. It's like when you're giving me that many choices, I'm bound to make mistakes, and yet I didn't want to. I didn't want to fuck up early. I wanted to like be on track to be a hacking, stealthy ninja. So I remade my guy. Also, I wanted to see if I can make my guy be Witcher-esque. I wanted to see if I can give him white hair and cat eyes and such. Could do the eyes, but the white hair just looked like a like no, what is that? Cobweb gray. Hi, Isaac.
Wow, me, I know he's just busting in here. I need to put a red light in my room to let him know I'm recording. Okay, that's fine. But for me, I put in 34 hours
Okay, I mean,
of Cyberpunk. So yeah, you can say I'm into it.
yeah.
The best example I can say what this game feels like is Fallout mixed with Grand Theft Auto. You know,
Well, it's fun. A lot of people wanted to make the comparison to Grand Theft Auto, but I actually felt like the game played. Yeah, I would make better like the same kind of comparison to Fallout, but I don't really feel like it's Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto doesn't do
it.
very good characters.
Now, I'm about to say, only reason why I say the Grand Theft Auto port because like the very beginning of the game, because like I'm still new, I don't know everything
Oh yeah.
that's going on in the game. I think it was, I don't know if you got to that part, but there was two cops standing outside one of the apartment doors, and they had like these little icons. I didn't know what it meant, so I went up there to be like, "Hey, what's going on? You know, maybe this is like one of those side missions." In a typical cop fashion, they turned around and was like, "Freeze! Get on the ground!" And they blew me away.
Oh Jesus. That did not happen to me, but I feel like you and I both fell prey to the expectations on the ambitions of the game because I had a similar instance where I saw these three dudes and again, symbol above their head. I didn't exactly know what the hell that meant, so I walked up to them, and this one dude kind of like all cholo and shit pulls his gun out on me and says, "Hey, what you doing?" So I was like, I just backed away. And he put the gun down. And said, "That's what I thought, pup." So I was like, "What's going on now?"
I'm
So
coming back.
I went,
I'm coming back to kill you.
I went around the corner, I went perpendicular to them and crouched down and then crept up to them. And my nephew Cameron was there, and he, as soon as he realized I could scan people and get like their names and whether or not they have any kind of like criminal history, he had me scan damn near everyone. So I scanned the guy who pulled a gun on me, and he was a member of the Tiger Claws, one of the gangs in Night City.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got closer, I could actually overhear the conversation. It wasn't like the like generic NPC, repeated lines where it's like some one-liner. It's like, "What you doing? Do you want something?" No, this was a conversation between these two members of the Tiger Claws and a beat cop, where there was some kind of stash that they were referencing that I guess the beat cop lost, and he had an idea on when they can get it back. So I was like, "Oh shit, can I like follow this cop? Is this like some kind of side quest?" Same as you. It's like, can I follow this cop and maybe like secure this stash and take it to non-dirty cops or some shit? No, once they were done with their conversation, they just stood there. So I crept up behind the guy who pulled a gun on me and choked him out in front of his friends.
I mean, I'm enjoying it. I don't know how far have you gotten into the game. I'm on
I can tell you
Act
exactly.
2.
I'm nowhere near. I
Oh,
am.
damn.
I am just prior.
Thought
to
you
the
would
heist.
at least got that far.
I know. I'm just prior to the heist. So, mild spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't actually watched any of the gameplay for Cyberpunk, because everything I've done was basically in gameplay trailers. Are already shown off. So, the last prominent mission I did was to get the Flathead robot, and did not expect the outcome that I got. Again, it's that thing where you're just trying to stumble through it and you're not realizing the repercussions of your actions. My guy is a corpo, and I met with the Militech agent. She gave me the chip, and I've seen enough gameplay videos to know that she's trying to screw me over, and I can actually confront her about it. And she owns up to it. Sorry. But then I actually had the opportunity to remove the virus from the chip that she gave me. But I thought that just meant that it wasn't going to fry the dude when I try to use it to pay for the bot. But I figured she'd still get what she wants, the tracking program to figure out who's the leak in Militech.
So you talk about the credit chip you're talking about?
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned that, because my outcome was a little bit different. We didn't ever pay with the credit chip. We kept that credit chip. We hacked it so it would be in our account.
Oh.
So
I hacked it to remove the virus. I didn't get the option to just add it to
because I never paid. Yeah, I never paid the mission.
Okay.
We went in there like
For anyone who doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about, we were on a mission to get a robot that we could use for this big heist that's central to the prologue of the game. And there's a bevy of options in order to how to buy this thing. You can just farm up the money yourself and pay for it out of pocket, or you can meet a Militech agent who's one of the corporations, highly militarized, and because they're the ones the robot was stolen from. They don't want the robot. They just want to find out how it got stolen. So when I went into the base, all's well and fine. I go to pay with the chip, and my V warns, not only gives them the chip or pays for it with the chip, but actually warns them that Militech is after them, that they had put a virus on the chip and I had removed it. So right when I get the robot back, Militech actually attacks the facility, and we got to shoot our way out with like my new Maelstrom friend, Dum Dum, which I felt like was supposed to be like a reference to Dum Dum Dugan from Marvel, but I don't think anyone cared. I kind of regret.
I had no Militech help me out. It was all me. I was just going in there blazing.
Oh yeah, no. I had the Maelstrom guys helping me out. I actually regret how I handled that shit, because I was able to save this character named Brick, who was the one who was originally sent to go buy the robot. I found out after the fact that he was the original leader of the Maelstroms, and that D-bag Royce, who put a gun to my face, kind of ousted him and took over. I could have killed him and then saved Brick. But nope, Militech agents attacked. I was able to save Brick. We got out of there. I had
none of that happened. Yeah, none of that happened.
That's cool though. Still love that. I love that you and I are having vastly different stories.
Yeah, because you're talking about Brick, and I never saw this guy. I just went in that facility, and apparently he was already dead. That Royce killed him.
So you didn't fight anybody on your way out?
Oh, I fought the people that were the fucking whatever, Maelstrom. I fought those guys.
Oh, you fought.
I didn't fight no Militech. I didn't fight no Militech people.
Ah, okay. Did you turn?
They showed up. They showed up after I left the building with the bot.
Yeah. So
I was like, okay.
You didn't pay with the chip. Did you just kill Royce and then killed everybody, or did you?
Yeah, like because I was stubborn at first. I wasn't going to give him the money. I was trying to I'm not saying I'm a part of any drug deals. So I'm not trying to say I'm a part of any drug deals, but I was trying to get the money and the bot and keep my money,
That's that Grand Theft Auto sensibility. That's that bullshit.
Yeah. So I was stubborn, and he was like, where's the fucking money? And then right when I was about to get the chip, I forgot what happened, but apparently Royce spazzed out, and we just drew guns, and we just went in there guns blazing. Next thing I was out of there with the bot.
I hated Royce. I hated Royce so much, and the notion that there was actually somebody that we could, a leader in the Maelstrom gang that we could have that would have been on our side, had I killed Royce and then saved him. But saving Brick is optional. If you took the same path out of the facility that I did, I'm not sure if that's like scripted. You have to go that way. You would pass right by him. He's in a room. He's in a room that you either need the technicality to open, or you need to hack the door, like the keypad. In order.
That's probably why I never got them, because at first I wasn't into that tech stuff, and I think I was just like level 5 or something for
Oh
that,
yeah,
and I
no,
was like, I'm
I,
not gonna worry about that. And
I was
then when
pushing.
I started going on further missions, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to upgrade some of my stuff to force a door open, or use hacking abilities. Then that's when I started upgrading. I was like, all right, I'm tired of going around buildings looking for one little key card. I have to kill somebody to get this key card when I can just use these hacking abilities to open the door to avoid that fight altogether,
Oh
which is
yeah,
cool.
oh yeah. One of the things I was actually worried about was needing technical, because as far as my build was going, I was pushing for focusing on cool reflexes and hacking so that I could be that kind of like Genji as Cyborg Ninja. My initial idea was to go as much of a pacifist route as possible, but because I don't know the full totality of my options, I feel like I would just be stumbling around when I could just enjoy myself and live with the fact that I'm going to murder a whole ton of people. Uh, and then in my second playthrough, I'll play as a nomad, and then I'll try to go as non-lethally as possible. Um, but I was worried because I couldn't stop myself. I watched plenty of videos on Cyberpunk because that's what I like to do. And one video in particular was talking about how uh, this guy was doing a mission, and he was trying to exemplify the notion that some missions have like secondary objectives, like trying to be as discreet as possible. But he ran into a wall when he was in a mission that required him to be stealthy, and he got to a point where he needed to open a door, but he didn't have the technical to open that door. So the only way for him to complete the mission was to shoot out a window, which set off an alarm. The fixer wasn't exactly happy about that. There's a burp there, and it's just not coming. So I ran into something similar to that. I ran into this, like there was a mission to retrieve some stolen drugs, and it was in this apartment complex. I ran up to the top floor where the drugs were supposed to be, and the door was locked, and you had to use technical in order to open it. I was like, shit, I guess I can't do this at all. Swivel the camera around, and oh, there's a hole. There was a hole in the wall, and you can actually get onto the scaffolding, jump across, and get into the apartment. It's like, oh, thank God. And that guy from that video complaining about how he wasn't able to have a stealth playthrough in that mission, I actually found out later that he could have climbed the building and dropped down. So I'm really happy that as far as I could see, the game doesn't punish you for going one way or the other.
Whatever, yeah.
However you want to play,
that's one.
There's a way to handle things the way you want to handle it. You just have to find it.
Yeah, because most of the time I try to go in stealthy. Like some missions have the option, be like, hey, don't get discovered or don't raise the alarm, and that's cool. And there'll be some missions where it's not an option, and I'll go halfway after the notification. There'll be a building I have to go. I'll go in stealth for like majority of the mission, and then there'll be one little fucking camera I forgot to turn off or something, and then alarms gets raised and more people come out. It doesn't affect the way the mission plays out until the end. It's still going to have the same outcome. Now, the ones that do require you to be stealthy or something, I can't remember. I think the character is named Regina King.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, she'll be like, I told you to go in stealthily, make it quiet. Now there's going to be all the sorts of attention to us, but hey, it's okay. Contract closed.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, hey,
I got
okay,
paid.
I'm a, yeah, I still got paid, which pissed me off, by the way, because I was playing the game and it got to the point. See, you haven't hit Act 2.
Nope.
No, I'm not trying to spoil anything. But in Act 2, when you finally the whole Night City opens up,
yeah,
your car you don't get your car back.
Oh.
So basically, I mean, there's a mission where you can get it back, but you got to do all these run around. But anyway, you are gonna get bombarded by messages from everybody. Like, hey, I got this car for sale. I have I want to say maybe 20 cars I can purchase. I don't even have the money to buy all these cars. but there was a bike. I was like, oh, I gotta get this bike. I want to buy this bike. Saved up for enough money to buy the bike. I'm riding around with the bike. Then I did one mission for Jackie's character,
Hold
and
on.
I can get Jackie's.
I'm sorry. I just have to say this. This is how my brain works. Okay, you saying you bought a bike. I know now, after giving it more thought, you're talking about like a motorcycle or like an.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, not bicycle.
The first thing that popped in my head was like San Andreas or
We
some
still
shit.
ride a bicycle.
Yes. I'm like, this motherfucker can buy a bike.
But no,
Is it a 10-speed?
okay. From now on, motorcycle. But yeah, so I bought a motorcycle,
I'm sorry.
and
It's just my brain.
and and then I did another mission where I got Jackie's motorcycle. I'm like,
Okay.
son of a bitch. I wasted all this money on buying this motorcycle when you just gave me one for free. You sons of bitches.
Now, see, here's the thing. Because I'm not as far in the game as you, obviously, I don't know. Because, truth be told, I'm probably not going to continue playing the game. And sadly, that's how my impressions have to end at the moment. And when we come back to make like our final impressions, that'll be when you beat the game, I guess. Because
Probably.
it'll be a while before I can get myself a PS5, and I doubt that the game's going to look any better on the PS4. And I don't want
Now,
my initial impression of the game to be tainted, or for me to have to, I guess, like,
not saying you're playing two separate different games.
it feels that way.
Anyway, you just want to beat the game
No,
how it was intended to be played.
yeah, I don't want to have to drop it down to be playing it like it's a 24-bit game or something. Just to say that I actually beat the game or something along those lines. Because, like, what kind of experience am I going to get out of that if I were to do that? Or I could just freaking wait and exercise patience. It's really fucking hard. But
Oh, don't worry. Esau got his on the Xbox One, and he's got the base Xbox One. He hasn't touched it because of this. So, but I'm not to say even I'm playing it on the PS5.
The PlayStation fanboy in me is like, it's shit on both consoles, but it's more shit on Xbox.
And it was advertised on Xbox, but I'm not here to talk about Xbox hate. But not to say, even if you get it on PS5 right now as a plan, it crashed on me 11 times.
Yeah.
So,
See,
like,
I wasn't there.
and when it crashed,
I wasn't there for when The Witcher 3 first came out. Apparently, they had the exact same problems. It's what happens with open world games, unless they're made by Ubisoft, but they suck anyway.
hold up, stop.
Hammer time.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey was a good open world game, buddy. Play Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
How about Unity?
And once I'm done with Cyberpunk,
If I had a glass
we're
of tea
going-
right now.
we're going to Valhalla.
Okay, that'll be another thing where I'm asking you questions about the goddamn game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can pull out how many games over here I need to play.
I was trying to do that Kermit sipping tea kind of thing, but ain't got no tea.
You know, I still got to play that game. Still got to play that game.
I'm sorry.
Got to finish that game.
I'm sorry. All my games have
you
blue
already saw.
borders. Ugh.
God, for we're gonna have to wait.
I mean,
But yeah, anyway, more back on Cyberpunk.
yeah. Long segue aside. So, for me at least, what I was playing, I felt like the fundamentals were there. It is a huge world to dive into, and I love drowning myself in the lore of a world. I would love to be able to take all the time to read every single book that I run across when it comes to this game. I like how it doesn't hold your hand when it comes to terminology and shit like that. They're tossing around slang like nobody's freaking business. Eddies, scabs. You gotta pick it up by context.
Shivs.
Yeah, you gotta pick it up by context, and I like that. Like, don't downplay the world building just because people might not understand immediately. I feel like that's a bad move when it comes to an open world game. Like,
Speaking
if your
of
presentation
that,
is good enough,
go
then
ahead,
we'll
finish
pick
what
it
you
up.
gotta say.
Well, I'm just saying, if your presentation is good enough, then people will pick up on it. It's the same with
Yeah.
TV shows. It's the same with video games. He's like, oh no,
Now,
what eddies are what we call our cash. It's like, I figured that out.
now I'm gonna ask you something. Did you watch the GameSpot review for Cyberpunk?
I read the GameSpot review.
You
What?
read it.
Whoa. And I read about all the hate they got because of that. And then people saw the game. It's like, oh, I understand now.
No, 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 no. There was another video. See, this is why get on Twitter, man. Get on Twitter. You'll find a whole bunch of stuff.
Ugh.
Uh,
Twitter.
Apparently, some guy, made a video talking about the GameSpot review, and basically, this guy was harassing this reviewer. I can't remember the reviewer's name, but she basically in her video review or in her discussion with GameSpot saying she only crafted like one thing and how that meant she didn't play the game. I can tell you, I'm 34 hours in. I have not crafted a single thing. Do I want to do it? Don't have to. I don't have to do it,
Probably
but it's
not.
there if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but like
when it comes to an open world game and like this or like Rent the Dawn or anything, and you have that many freaking options, if you dip your toe into a certain aspect of the game, like in GTA, the bike races, if I did one bike race, I feel like I got the idea on how the bike races are gonna go. I don't think I need to do them all in order to review the freaking shits. It's like, you know what, the first bike race didn't have me, but 7 bike races later, they still suck.
yeah, I mean, the game is deep because I'm still like finding out stuff like there's attachments to your weapons and stuff and mods, which I barely have any mods for any of these weapons. Let's see what else.
If I
Yeah,
if I would have to complain anything about gameplay wise, one of the things that I feel like is a little bit weird for me is, contrary to what I'm hearing from a lot of other people, I'm actually enjoying the melee combat. It reminds me of Elder Scrolls, but I didn't necessarily have a problem with that to begin with.
Have you done any one of those boxing fights yet?
I fought the twins.
Okay.
I lost, and then
Wait till you fight. I didn't lose on my first time. I think this was before they put in the patch because I was able to heal myself during that fight.
That seems kind of cheap. Oh no, like I
Well,
lost, but
apparently the other fights I had, I couldn't heal, so I had to fight them legit.
I didn't try healing, but I'm actually kind of glad I lost because then rather than immediately jumping back into the fight, I went and farmed up some more eddies and then went back with the higher bet. Beat them, got 4,000, so I was kind of glad. But the thing that I don't understand though is the fun. Like if you look at the perk system and the character progression there, and for me, I'm trying to build that ninja build. There are perks to kind of support that. I just think it's weird that when it comes to like the kind of assassinations, when you grab a hold of a guy and you can kill them, there aren't like augmented assassinations when it comes to your weapons. Because there's so much to it, I feel like a lot of it is just like messing around and seeing what works.
Yeah, like I said, when you hit Act 2, I'm telling you, you're going to get bombarded with all the messages about cars and rides and stuff you can get. And then when you pull up your map, because I think Act 1, you only got that one part of Night City. When you pull out and you see all the missions, you're going to be like, holy shit. There's a lot of stuff.
Well, thankfully from like these like tip videos on YouTube, you can actually mess with the legends. So you only see one thing on the map at a time, so you can break it down. It's easier that way. Well, to sum up, to try and come some kind of closure. I feel like this is the first game I've ever seen that's gotten 2 different review scores from most places. And I think
IGN reviewed the PS4 and Xbox version and gave it a 4.
I feel like I just saw somebody give it a 2. I feel like I just saw somebody gave it a 2.
2 out of 10? Mm-hmm. Or 2 out of 5?
2 out of 10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't help you there, buddy.
Like I said at the top, these are just our impressions from us playing through the game for about, as far as Nick just clarified. 11 hours to what was yours?
34.
34.
And
So we're not going to
you-
all the business side. Whether or not Cyberpunk was being or CD Projekt Red was being kind of shady, not showing anybody anything, and now they're trying. Now they're fucking up their, now
they
they're
fucking knew.
now
They
they're
fucking
now they're
knew.
fucking up their messaging by trying to say we didn't know it was there. We didn't know it was like that. We just happened to never try it on that system that we built this game for. We're not gonna get into that.
See, look at my face, John.
Look at me.
Look at my face. They fucking knew this game was trash on PS4 and Xbox One.
See, I'll fight against
They
that. The
fucking knew.
game is not trash. It looks like trash. Let's be honest.
Okay, yeah, it looks like trash. It,
Yeah.
if you watched those gameplay demos, see, well, that's the thing too, John. When you saw those games, now, if you were like me, what system were you? If you didn't have that PS4, or you were really looking forward to that game, what system would it have you bought that on?
PS4. I mean,
Okay,
remember?
me looking at that.
Let's remember when the original
Me
release
looking.
date was.
See, look, me looking at that game when they first showed the hour-long demo at E3, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely a PC game. This is not a console game." Which is why they sent all these PC codes out for review. And not to say they didn't even. I think if they get, I believe they only had 5 days to review the game. So I've been playing it for a week now, and
It's
I haven't
bad.
even beaten the game yet. I don't even know how far I'm into the game.
It's bad when
Yeah, what? But
it's bad when a game makes Stadia look good.
ooh, yeah.
So
I can't
anyway,
use Stadia.
all right.
I can't use Stadia out here, John.
Yeah, no, you can't. I know you can. You're in the fucking Twilight Zone. All right. To sum up, though, I think that what they build is, or has the potential to be spectacular. I think that part of the issue could come from the fact that we as a community are fairly impatient. We wanted this game as soon as fucking possible. And then we complain when they had to rely on crunch or that the game is shipped in a super buggy state. I'm just gonna save all my enthusiasm for when shit is better.
All right, sounded like Joe Biden. We're gonna wait until the game comes out with the next gen version before we make our final opinions.
Oh, fuck that!
But
Just give me a
nah,
PlayStation 5.
I mean,
Somebody, give me a PS5.
I know. I'm trying. I'm worried about you getting the PS5, and apparently one of my friends from work is trying to find the Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS4, which is impossible to find
Really?
unless you can find it up. Yeah, unless you can find it up there in Maryland for me, and somehow manage to ship that some bitch down here in like 3 days.
Just go digital, baby.
That's what I told him. I was like, just do it digitally. He's like, man, I don't know how to set that up. I'm like, you had to at least sign up for PlayStation
Do
when
you
you bought
have
the damn
internet?
console.
I feel like Blizzard announcing Diablo. It's like you all have phones, right?
Yeah, to summarize Cyberpunk, I'm enjoying the game. Story intriguing in some parts. Some parts I'm like trying to find backgrounds for most of the characters. There will be like options you can be like, oh, let me dig deeper into this conversation, and it's there if you want it. Sometimes just like I want to carry out this conversation a little bit longer to see where it goes. And talking about your choice of going corpo, I went nomad, and to me, like, see, because I don't know how your game went. Obviously you started somewhere different than my game. I started out in like some desert area and stuff like that, whereas you probably started in some office building or whatever. But
Yep.
you still ended up with Jackie. You're doing all like there's like this quick like synopsis of you and Jackie doing all stuff together and trying to make a name for yourself. So basically, at that point, I feel like choosing Nomad, Corpo, or Street Kid doesn't make any impact unless it's the voice options you pick. But like, oh, as a nomad, I would say this.
Well, it definitely gives you a leg up in certain situations. Like when I was talking with the Militech agent, because I was a corpo, I knew that she was trying to play me with that shit, and she admitted to it.
Mm.
Even though I haven't gotten that far, I can already see the same kind of storytelling that enthralled me from The Witcher 3.
Alex,
Yeah. Yep, that's him. What?
Alex.
He can't hear, or he probably can. Anyway, I was already seeing that same kind of storytelling that enthralled me with The Witcher 3, where I tried to make the best decisions in those situations. Because if we break this down like into a Mass Effect-esque Paragon Renegade system, I'm always going to go the Paragon route. I'm the good guy. But
Oh,
even when I think,
this is
even
my
when
opportunity to be a dick.
even when I think I'm doing the right thing, the writing is in so many different shades of gray. Example. Previously, when I was talking about that one mission where I was looking for those stolen drugs, when I got into that apartment, I ran into the guy, and he was crazy. He was dealing with some kind of psychosis, where he thought these people, like everyone was against him, and that he stole the drugs because they were going to use whoever he stole them from were going to use them for something, or he wanted to get back at somebody. I had to talk him down. And his main thing, he wanted to take down like these elected officials. And the only way I could talk him out of pointing his gun at my face was to essentially shatter his sense of self by telling him, it's like, if you kill that one guy, he's just going to become a martyr for everyone else. And that thing you're trying to accomplish will never be accomplished that way. So he,
Didn't
like,
have that.
I killed his soul. I may not have shot him, but I killed his soul, and it really didn't matter, because while he let me take the medicine back and leave, as I was going down the stairs, I could hear the shock ring off because he kills himself. I didn't want to kill the guy.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to kill the guy, but I convinced him to kill himself.
And it doesn't stop there. I had an incident, but it was fucked up because I don't know. I don't know if I could have changed this option. There was a mission in your apartment about some neighbor of yours. Like some cops were trying to check on him or some shit. And eventually you can check up on him, be like, hey man, how's it going? Everything going? It's like, everything's okay. And you can go talk back to the cops, like, oh yeah, he's doing fine. So eventually I came back to my apartment, and the cops are all outside his apartment door crying and shit. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And he's like, oh, I don't know if he offed himself or somebody killed him. One of the police officers like, oh man, Barry, man, I'm sorry, man.
And see, that just makes me wonder if there was something else he could have done.
Yeah, and I've tried to. I was like, no, I'm gonna reloading my saves. I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to save this guy. Apparently, whatever options I picked didn't matter. He died, and my mission failed.
Oh, well, damn. It was an actual mission. This is like just something.
Yeah, I mean, it is a side quest.
Anyway, so we're having fun, or most of us are having fun. That guy.
I don't know about that guy.
I'm having fun.
I'm having fun until it crashes.
Right. Anyway, let's go ahead and leave it there, and we'll be back with another video talking about something else. Peace.